Hi guys, so today I'm going to cut one of the branches off of one of my mangoes and I'm going to graft it onto my bowen seedling today. So I'm just going to cut one part off this. I think this one's probably a bit late, but I'm gonna do this anyway and just see how it goes. So I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to take it off down around here, just at the top of those set of leaves there, which will also encourage branching. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off now. I'm going to cut it off there. So that's what we're looking at. Now for this graft, well, we'll just cut them off. So what we want to do is cut these off. Now all of these ones here that I've already shooted are most likely not going to work, but there is still some buds there, and a few there that haven't. So I'm pretty confident that this will still work. So I might just trim this. I might get the where's my knife? Okay. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just cutting off these excess bits here. All right, so we'll take this around the front, or where we're going to do the, I was going to graft it onto the front one. I'm actually not going to graft it on the front one. So we'll take this to the tree that we're going to graft. I'll just take those leaves off it there. So that's what we're looking at, guys. So that's, preferably get it before all the shoots have come through, but that's what we're looking for. You know, we've got a few buds here that it can potentially grow at, plus these shoots at the top here. So I'll clean this up shortly. We'll get that out there. We'll find a branch that's the same sort of thickness and we'll graft this on. Okay, guys, so what we're going to do here is, if you have a look here, that's a pretty good match there in terms of thickness. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this off, probably about there, like so. We'll graft that onto that one that we cut off, so then we've got a variety on that as well. So I'll just put that to the side. Okay, so I couldn't find my budding tape or my grafting tape, so unfortunately I'm going to have to improvise. I've just got a bag here and some electrical tape, and that's just going to have to do today, unfortunately. So first thing we want to do is get a nice so that's a nice, if you look there, nice sharp cut. We can tidy the end up there just by taking a bit of that tip off. Better yet, down here, like that. Now, if you have a look in here, this green bit here is the cambium layer around the edge here. Now, this is the bit that we need to make sure contacts with the tree. All right. So if we have a look here, what I find is I don't like to do my grass this way, as in bending that way. I like to do them with the wedge facing out of the tree. So just a personal preference. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this down for a minute and we'll just tidy this up. Probably should have done it first. Okay, so that's much cleaner now. So now just be very careful when you do this. I like to put my thumb on the top, because quite often it's very easy and you just slip through and you'll end up cutting it off. So having your thumb above it stops you from going too far. So just in there, and just make sure you're central, and then just rock gently backwards and forwards, rocking, rocking, like that. We'll go a little bit further. Okay, so that's basically the thickness of the blade. That's a pretty good distance. So then we will get, now I like to orientate, if there's a bend in it, I'd like to pick where the bend is. So, you know, if it's bending that way, then I'll go that way rather than pointing it inwards. So if there is a bend, make sure you bend it outwards rather than into the tree. Now, just making sure we line up the cambium layers. Now, don't worry about lining both sides up. As long as you get one side perfect, it'll be fine. Make sure that you also don't go the whole way down past where you've cut. It has to, if you look on the side here, it has to always be a bit exposed. All right, so that's perfectly set. So now we just need some tape. Now, if you have a look on the back side here, you'll see that it actually hangs out a little bit on the back side, just ever so slightly. That doesn't matter, as long as it's aligned perfectly on one side. That's all you need for a successful graft. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply a bit of pressure. All right, so that's that. So now we'll cut this off. I'll get rid of that. Down there. So I'll just finish that tape off. All right, so just have a look here. So you can see here, guys, that is completely sealed. No moisture can get in. The whole way around, nice and tight, so it holds it all together. And now I'm going to cover it with a bag. So you can either go to one side or whatever. Ziploc bags actually work quite well. So then I generally just go like that. Doesn't really matter, there's no sort of perfect technique. And then I'll grab that tape. Now usually I spray a bit of water in there. In fact, let's get real technical. Okay, look down here. Let's go. There's a bit of moisture in there. That'll just stop it from drying out. The idea of the bag, it's like a mini hothouse, and what it does, it keeps the humidity in and allows the graft to set without the scion drying out. That's the whole idea of it. So you don't really need any special tools to do this, guys. I've just got a Ziploc bag here, some electrical tape, and instead of using a proper grafting knife, you could just use a razor. That'll do just as good a job. So that's it. Now the only other thing we need to do now is just get rid of any of these. You don't need to do this, but the thing is, all these leaves are taking sap from this new graft here. So this is optional, and you've got a higher success rate if you do this. So basically, I'm going to take any of this competition off down here, so that it allows all that sap flow to the graft. like so. And we're going to go the whole way down here, like that. Now we could have grafted a lot lower here. We probably could have grafted all down here, but that's all right. That'll work just fine. So that'll now grow, and we should successfully have another variety of mango on this. To be honest, I didn't even check which one this was. It's just out of all of my mangoes that were there, this one was advanced the furthest, so that's why I chose it. I didn't choose it because of the variety. I'm going to graft all of those other mangoes there onto it eventually, but at this stage, this one will be the first one just because it's so far along. The other ones I'll probably do over the next couple of days, and we'll get a couple of different varieties onto this and see how it goes from there. I was going to put this on the one out the front there, but what I've found is that this has got much better branching, so the opportunity to get multiple grafts on this tree is probably a higher chance of success. So I think we'll work with this one. We'll see how this goes, and hopefully it takes. Like I said, it's probably a little late to be grafting it with the leaves coming out like that. Generally you want them just a bit further along than that. So this is probably a perfect example right there. So you've got a couple of shoots coming out. That's probably ideal time to be grafting. This is a little late, so it may or may not work. We'll just have to wait and see, but I'm hopeful, and I'm pretty happy with how the graft turned out. So we'll see how it goes. Okay guys, so the variety was Kia. So I was going to graft that other one onto this, but I don't think I will, to be honest. I'd like to encourage this to start getting some good branching on it. So I'm actually gonna prune that a bit lower, and hopefully that encourages some better structure for the tree. As you can see, these other ones, this one's not quite ready. This one's probably close to being ready. This one here is probably ideal. This is probably perfect timing. So this one is the Glen. This one here is a Miracle Mango. This one here is the Quan, which is a larger version of Kia Savoy. It's very similar to Kia Savoy. And this other one here, it's already flowering, is the Early Gold, which looks like it's going to be a really good producer. Really here in Melbourne, the earlier the better that these things flower. So I'm pretty hopeful that this is going to be a good tree. Pretty happy. So yeah, one by one we'll get these all eventually grafted onto my mango trees. And if I can get some good branching on any of these trees, these might end up having a place in the ground too, but we'll see. All right. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks guys. Bye.